Morning and welcome back to the Stone Ranger. Quite an exciting morning. Just had a delivery, it's just come to me. So this delivery's come from a company called Southern Stone Ltd, and it's a basic stone carving kit. So I bought this online, I've bought this myself. The company didn't know I was going to do a review on it. It's cost me £66 in total, that's including delivery. And first thing I must say straight away, delivery's been great. It was here in no time, like less than 48 hours from placing the order. Been really good. The notifications on the marketplace I bought it from was all fantastic, so I'm really happy that I'm quite excited about this. So inside this box is a basic stone carving kit, and if I think I remember rightly, we've got a 6mm chisel, Italian fire hardened chisel. We've got a 400 gram dummy hammer, safety specs, some Maltese limestone, and some basic instructions of how to do some stone carving. But right, let's get it open and let's have a look at it. I'll bring you in closer. Well, let's cut this open and have a look. Like Christmas. So there's my instructions, so that's my purchase details, and you can see on here £66. So what we've got here, we've got a jiffy bag. Oh, this is just for keeping everything safe. So that's good. So taking everything out. Got some instructions. Got a piece of Maltese limestone. So let's have a look at the stone first. Nicely packaged. It's well wrapped up, so you feel confident getting that through the post. It's a nice piece of limestone. It's got a few saw marks in there. Maybe I'd think about polishing that down before I started carving on there, but yeah, it's nice. There's a bit of iron there, maybe a few chips on the corner, but that's all something we can go around with the chisel and put maybe a chamfer on there if you've got any other tools. You might even, it's very soft, you can tell straight away. It's very soft, great for beginners. You might be able to rub a bit of sandpaper on there and take them saw marks off. Right, let's have a look at we'll leave the instructions for a minute. That's not the exciting bit. So we've got 400 gram hammer. Nice. We've got a chisel. So I say this chisel was, showing the description, it said fire hardened Italian chisel. Yeah, nice. It says safety specs. I always like to wear my own safety specs, but it is a review, so we best put these ones on. Yeah, fit nicely, nice and clear to look through. Yeah, I'll wear them instead of my own. I'll move my own out of the way. So let's have a look at the fun bit. So this is Southern Stone Basic Lettering Guide. What have we got in here? We've got stone marked out on a piece of paper and then printed off or scanned. A piece of graphite paper to mark it onto the stone. So we'll keep that to one side for a minute. Then we've got some instructions. It's quite detailed instructions in there. Oh, so it says here polishing the top off with a piece of sandpaper. Yeah, so we've got section 1, prepare your working area, placing your stone block on a secure workbench. Number 2 is like we picked up straight away, is where we said there were some saw marks in there. They've addressed that here by using a fine sandpaper around 120 grit, sand the surface until smooth and dust off with a brush. Number 3, place the carbide paper onto the stone and the template over the top, mark it out, trace over the top using a pencil. Once you've finished tracing, remove the carbon paper, tidy up the line so it's easy for you to use your guide. You may wish to lightly spray some hairspray over the surface of the stone, which will prevent the lines from smudging. That does work. I've done that myself before. One thing I like to do is slightly have the stone, if I've washed it off slightly damp, and I think it draws the graphite in, but actually we're not using the pencil on this, we're using the carbon paper. So maybe if we had some hairspray, I mean, it's not looking likely that we're going to have any hairspray, but if I did, it's I try that. And then it's tips on how to carve the chisel, how to use the chisel, what angles to hold it. What I'll do, I'll put this on there. I'll put a copy of this on the screen so you can have a quick look at this and how to hold the chisel on the back, and then your finished product, and getting the correct angles on there, which is great. It's also got a bit of health and safety on the front. Make sure you wear your eye protection, which we're going to do. Take care when handling and moving the stone to ensure that everything's safe. Wear appropriate footwear in case you drop it. Before we start, ensure you have a comfortable workplace. Stones should be comfortable at working height, which we're on my working bench, so that's good. Make sure you have a strong, stable stand to place the stone onto. You've got good lighting. You've got the right tools. This is a basic lettering guide to carve the word stone. You're free to choose whatever you like to carve and just print it off or draw it freehand. So that's a great start. I'm not going to read all that to you. 2 reasons. It's instructions, and I like to get going, and also I'm dyslexic, so reading on camera is like my worst nightmare. So yeah, I'm going to find a piece of sandpaper. I'm going to do what it says. I'm going to rub it down. I'm going to polish off the top, and then we'll mark the stone on. So as we suspected, that's cleaned up really well. This is 60 grit, so it's twice the grit as the recommended. Don't have any 120, but I do have a polishing machine with all different grades of polishing pads, but it doesn't feel right to run that over the top because that's not what's in the kit, and we're all about reviewing the kit. So we're on to our next stage. I've got a pencil, I've got the paper, carbide paper, so I need to put that on there. And then lay this on top. One thing I would say straight away without even trying this is, if we know what size piece of limestone's coming, maybe it'd be nice if the paper wasn't A4, so we know it fit, which would be nice so you're not guessing. I suppose I could trim it down, and also noticing straight away, this actual printing off of stone is not square. I don't know if they've drawn it and they've not drawn it on the paper square, or if it's not gone through the photocopier square, but actually it needs twisting like that to get square. So there's a bit of work to do to get that married up properly, which is not a problem. I'm not going to cut it down, I'm not going to start marking the stone to make everything centralised, because like I just said a minute ago about the sandpaper, we want to use everything what's in the kit. So yeah, that's one thing to be conscious of there. So right, that's on. I'm going to mark round with a pencil. So that's all marked on there pretty well. There's a couple of things I want to highlight. Is like I said a minute ago, the stencil's printed on an angle. I just think overall the stencil needs improving. The carbon paper works great, and the whole idea of it works great. I think just this wording stone, I think how close it is to the T there for some people beginning, and teaching a few courses, I think some people would feel a little daunted with that. But yeah, I just think that overall the stencil there could just do with improving. I think maybe print it off as an actual font, what you've gone round, rather than hand drawn on. I like the hand drawn idea, but I think it's just not square, and I'm not sure it just works quite right. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of carving. This chisel is slightly different to the chisel what was on the description, only because on the description it was the same as one of a chisel like this, slimmer on the shaft, 6mm chisel like it said. This is just bigger, the shape of it's bigger to hold, so it's slightly different, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. It still looks nice and sharp, still looks a good quality chisel. I just worry about the size of the chisel, the weight of the chisel when it's only this 400g hammer. If it was me, I'd be wanting a bigger hammer maybe for the size of the chisel, or even just maybe a 600g would really help. Just holding that, the difference in weight already. So we'll go in with a 400g because that's what we've been provided in the kit. This is the chisel. And we'll do a little bit of carving. So the carving, my style of carving, what I do myself is different to the way they've recommended we do it with the instructions, so I'm going to do both. I'm going to do it their way and I'm going to do it my way, and you can there's no right or wrong way for me. It's just what I'm used to of years of carving. I just do it a slightly different way, but I'd like to do it the way which is in the instructions, because that's part of the kit, it's part of the review. So we'll start off with this T and we'll show you that, and then I'll do the S in the way I carve. Right, let's get closer. So what we're doing here is a V cut in the way it says in the instructions. So what you do here, you go down the middle, or make sure you got your safety specs on what have been provided. So you go straight down the middle. Oh, that is soft. That is very soft. And you put kind of a mark down the middle, holding it. So this is not a tutorial how to carve letters. I have other videos on my channel of how to do that, but you're wanting to feel the pressure here. You want to feel the pressure here and the pressure on your thumb. So when I'm gripping it, you can see the grip there. So you want to feel the pressure there as you're holding it against the wall of the stone, and you want to hold your thumb wants to be, so you can feel the pressure on your thumb guiding it. The rest of it in the middle, I like to have it a bit looser, so you can let the chisel move, but you're guiding it. So you're working the way they say in the instructions. You put a line down the middle and then you just keep working each side, making this V-shaped lettering, and keep moving it. Just keep moving side to side, tapping away. This, I said I was unsure about this 400g hammer, but actually it's working really well, and I think the reason that is because it's such soft stone. It's really, really soft stone. So that's how you do it. So, and that's how it says to do it in the instructions. How I carve, I'll just do the bottom of this T for you here, is I go around the outside first. I like to just take a little bit of pressure off it. Just around the outside. And once I've taken a bit of pressure off, then I go in with a little bit more weight on the chisel, a little bit more weight on the hammer. So you're sliding your hammer further down the shaft of the hammer just to get that little bit more leverage, get a bit more weight on it. The closer up you're getting it, you're tapping away. So I'd start moving the material from the outside rather than the inside, and I'll bring it round. Get right in the corners. This stone is very soft. You can see why it's great for beginners. I've carved quite a bit of limestone over the last, well, I don't think I carved much limestone for the first 5 years, but in the last 7 years or so I've carved all different types of limestone, and this is by far the softest, which is great for beginners, like I say. And also Southern Stone have got to post it. So they've got to have something what's nice for everyone to carve. It's got to have good structure to it. Yeah, see how I did that slightly different. So I'll carry on there. I'll speed it up. I'm going to move back to the S. I don't really like carving one letter in. I like to start right from the beginning, but I wanted to show you the straight line of how them guys told us to carve. I'll speed it up so you can see me going, and I'll jump back in as I'm finishing up the E, and then you can we'll have another chat about it, how it's going. So that's me all finished up doing the carving. You just saw me run down the edge with the chisel. So I was holding it down the side and just pushing it around. That I had another quick read of the instructions, and it said it recommended to do that. It said the Maltese stone's really soft. You can just hold your chisel at the right angle and just push it, taking any chisel marks out, any imperfections. So if you're new to carving and you've not got the angle of the chisel right that you hold it, or you're consistently not swinging the hammer or tapping the hammer, consistent blows, you might put grooves into the stone, especially with this limestone, because it's extremely soft. It's very easy to do that. You can just hold the chisel at an edge and you can just work it down. This chisel's 6mm, and if you've gone deeper than 6mm, you've got to be careful you don't put too much cleaning up on there, because you're going to put step into it. So just be conscious of that. So, am I happy with the carving? Yeah, I've not spent ages carving it. This has taken, what, 10 minutes to carve. I've not spent ages there trying to make it look all pretty and nice. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think the stone's nice to work with, especially for a beginner. It's not too noisy, which is a weird thing to say, I suppose, because some of the stone I work with you get a lot of ringing to it, where it's really dense, or some of the Derbyshire gritstone can be swinging the hammer a lot more because it's a lot tougher stone, so it's a lot noisy. So this is something that you could do in your garden shed without making too much noise. My overall opinion on this, so this has cost me £66. Am I happy with £66? Yeah. So I've got to think, a brand new hammer, 400 gram, a nice fire hardened chisel, which it says on the description about this will last a lifetime, and it will last a lifetime, especially using this stone. You probably never even have to sharpen it on this stone. So yeah, you got your safety specs, not the best quality safety specs in the world, but they're okay, they're doing the job. The instructions are very clear. They've posted you a piece of stone in that package. To get that through the post with APC or Royal Mail or TNT, whoever they're using at a time, I think it's quite impressive, all for £66. The only downside is the stencil. I mean, the stencil could just do with a little bit of tweaking, and it would cost them very little to sort that out at Southern Stone, and I think that would take it to the next level. The stencil would definitely take it to the next level. Would I buy this as a present for someone for Christmas at £66? Someone who's wanting to take up carving, whether you're husband or wife or son and daughter. I think it's a great introduction to stone carving. I think it's really good. I would spend the £66, and also at the end of it, you can display this piece of stone if you want. You can always use the back, which is nice. So you've got a double amount you can use. But then you can go and buy a piece of stone once you've got the chisels and the hammer. you started off there, then you can nip to your local garden centre, your local quarry, you might have some stone in the garden, left over and building products, or you could contact them at Southern Stone and they might sell you some more limestone. I'm sure I saw it on there when I looked at other products. There's lots of chisels, lots of hammers and stuff. I've bought chisels and hammers off them before, which have always been very good. I've never bought one of these starting kits or beginner kits, and I've never bought stone off them, but I'm sure I've seen on there you can buy stone. So overall, I would say that's a positive review. That's a thumbs up from me. Yeah, so if you wanted to get into stone carving, try one of these out. If you wanted to gift it as a present, I would recommend it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.